Hello and Mingalaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Minton and Yenai brings us a first report which is a little concerning, and that's higher temperature expected this summer. David Tanner prepared a report on understanding digital payment or digital wallet. Aquaculture covered a story on poor aquaculture practices leading to major loss. Wilson has a report on the importance of market research for businesses. Before we get to the reports, let's check on some local news. A delegation from the Ministry of Information, led by Union Minister Dr. Pei Mien, departed for Japan on Thursday. The trip will focus on film studios and academies, film libraries, museums, archive centers, the media agencies, film services and production companies. They will also attend the Tokyo International Film Festival. The MOI delegation consists of the IPRD Director General Wu Ye-nai, Film Promotion Division Director Wu Tei-nai, MRTV Deputy Director Daw Thein-la-so, and other concerned officials. The Constitutional Tribunal of the Union and the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, International IDEA, Myanmar, organized a workshop titled The Chilean Transition to Democracy Through Constitution Building Process and the Role of Constitution Tribunal in Naypyidaw on Thursday to share knowledge on experiences of Chile and democracy transition process. The workshop discussed the political situation in Chile, the role of its constitutional tribunal during its fledgling democracy, comparative studies between experiences of Chile and other countries. Myanmar's Constitutional Tribunal and the International IDEA Myanmar are the partner organizations, and the latter is providing technical assistance to promote constitutional knowledge in building a democratic federal state. 5 baby Ayeyarwady dolphins were spotted in the conservation area between Mandalay and Chao Miao recently, according to local fishermen. A survey conducted in February this year had shown over 70 dolphins between Mandalay and Bamor, and 24 of them were recorded between Mandalay and Chao Miao. With the implementation of the dolphins-based community tourism between Mandalay and Chao Miao, the number of foreign visitors coming to watch cooperative fishing with the Ayeyarwady dolphins has been on the rise this year. While newcomers are found annually in the river, there are also deaths due to electrofishing and fishing nets. With a team conducting 2 rounds of inspections every month, the practice of electrofishing is gradually declining in the area from Mandalay to Bamor in the Ayeyarwady Dolphin Protection Zone, according to the Wildlife Conservation Society's Dolphin Conservation Project. That's all with the local news, and we're moving on to our first report. Nowadays, one of the world's challenges include climate crisis. With a huge impact from global warming, the world's citizens become the victims of extreme weather conditions and natural disasters. And as a result, the world's temperature is rising not only in summer, but also in other times of the year. Well, in this report, we will find out what the weather conditions will be for the summer here in Myanmar. Our reporters Minton and Yenai will tell us more.
With the immense threats from global warming, the world is suffering from extreme weather conditions, here in Myanmar as well. There has been temperature soaring up year by year, particularly during the summer, and it will be the same for this summer too, with reports of higher temperature than previous summers, despite no likelihood of El Niño happening, according to the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology.
El
Niño is not coming this summer, but due to the global warming, we expect it could be hotter than usual. The temperature will be higher than that of 2017 and 2018, but it will be experiencing all over the world, not just in our country. With the immense impact of global warming, here in Myanmar also, the temperature is soaring up year on year.
Naturally, summer is the hottest time of the year, with searing heat and maximum level of ultraviolet radiation. Director General of Meteorology and Hydrology Department explains more.
The level of ultraviolet radiation becomes higher in summer than monsoon and winter, especially in the afternoon. It is likely to reach its highest index.
Dr. Jomo Wu also gave us details about the heat-related health risk and other precautions. He said that the excessive exposure to ultraviolet radiation can increase the risk of skin cancer, sunburn, uneven pigmentation, as well as cataracts and premature aging. The Ministry of Health and Sports gives public reminder to take necessary precautions. And there are also other precautions for the summer. The other threats of summer include lightning, thunderclap, and hailing. And besides, due to summer heat, it is likely to form thunderclouds as well, mostly in the upper regions of the country, but nowadays as well as in the lower regions. Dr. Jomo Wu also gave us details about the heat-related health risk and other precautions. He said that
Cumulonimbus clouds, also called thunderclouds, are most common in tropical regions, especially in summer. Thundercloud is a dense, towering vertical cloud forming from water vapor carried by powerful outward air currents. Due to the daytime's extreme heat, then it can trigger lightning strikes, and also hailing later in the afternoon. In the past, only the upper regions have experienced this thundercloud, but now it is also happening in the lower regions.
Deforestation becomes a key factor in posing these threats. Forest degradation encourages extreme heat. So to come up with the best solution, we have to set green goals for environmental recovery. One of them is forest regeneration, which is crucial, and also it can simply help reduce the temperature and also harmful CO2 gas emissions.
We are now regenerating the forest, growing the trees again. This can reduce the searing heat we are experiencing now. The forests and trees have power to absorb the heat. It was not very hot in Yangon before Cyclone Nargis. We can say Yangon had balanced heat then. But with the loss of trees during the cyclone, it has become very hot not only in summer, but also other times of the year. So most importantly, we need to preserve the forests, and also it is a must to reduce CO2 gas emissions.
But we, as a citizen of this earth, also have a responsibility to save our Mother Nature during this time of climate crisis. To save our future and our world, Dr. Jomo Wu calls for that we should adapt with green goals. That means we should come up with eco-friendly solutions, for example, using alternative solutions in using electricity, replacing eco-friendly cars instead of using gasoline cars. In this way, the global weather conditions will gradually recover.
That's a report on higher temperature expected this summer. Alright, we'll move on to weather forecast now. In Yangon, there will be intervals of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm during the day, but there will be patchy clouds with thunderstorm in parts of the area at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s, and there's about 51% chance of rain for the day, with wind gusts at 13 km per hour. In Naypyidaw, there will be intervals of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, and there will be patchy clouds at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s as well, and there's about 53% chance of rain for the day, with wind gusts at 11 km per hour. In Mandalay, there will be a thunderstorm in spots in the morning, otherwise clouds giving way to some sun during the day, and it will be clear to partly cloudy at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s, and there's about a 40% chance of rain for the day, with wind gusts at 11 km per hour. Stay with us, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Since digital payment is getting popular not only in the international standard but also in Myanmar's payment system, we will take a look at what digital payment is and what will be the primary payment system for us in the future. And of course, we have our reporter David Tanner to share more information with us on that.
A digital wallet or payment system, also known as e-wallet, refers to an electronic device or online service that allows an individual to make electronic transactions. This can include purchasing items online with a computer or using a smartphone to purchase something at a store. As the technology thrives, people become way more convenient using these kind of services. For the detail of why we are slowly migrating the process of digital pay, I have interviewed one of the professionals in this area, who is the head of agent banking of KBZ, Usokuku.
Basically, usually in Myanmar, people it's like they are using for the cash in terms of so many kind of the payment like the food and everything. So basically, digital payment is a lot easier for them for those like for example like they do not need to carry for this heavy cash, and also the quality of the cash, and the moment when we make a pay for the cash, they have to wait for a long time. That's a kind of thing can avoid for that. And not only for the customer and also the merchant and also the business career will be the much more better than using for the digital payment.
A digital wallet has both a software and information component. Secure and fair electronic payment systems are important issue. The software provides security and encryption for the personal information and for the actual transaction. Usokuku also told MI Radio about the pros and cons about the system.
Using the digital payment is a lot others benefit that no need to carry the too much cash, no need to count the cash in the payment, no need to worry for the small note kind of things. This is obviously we can see immediately, but in more than that, like let's say if you make for the payment via the digitally, you can control your financial and via the let's say the payment history for how much you have spent, so you can control your financial better. So the first you have to know how to use it digitally, like your control wallet. Another one is that you have to aware for some security concern, that how do you protect your wallet, that in the password, the security feature. These two is awareness, it's not con. So if you aware from this, it totally can manage for the digital payment sector.
Digital wallet systems enable the widespread use of digital wallet transaction among visual retail vendors in the form of mobile payment systems and digital wallet applications. But the most important of all for this kind of system to be available is the technology.
To grow the digital payment, the most important is the technology. So technology is the most important thing to make it as a digital payment. We have a lot of the infrastructure nationwide. But when you go for digital payment sector, the bank infrastructure is not only enough on that. So what we do is we use a technology. It's like a world standard one. So this technology to give to the customer, every technology means we have two things. One is innovative, another one is security. Innovative means a lot of the features you can finish in your hand. So that is innovative. Let's say travel, let's say payment, bill, everything is in a hand. That is the innovative features. Plus security. We are using the world standard, the platform. That is already a hand for security and also reliable. So these three is the most important thing to make a digital payment sector.
I have also interviewed to some of the random people in the public for do they use these kind of digital payment systems and do they think it is reliable? And is it a primary payment system for all of us in the future? Let's hear out some of their voices.
Yes, I do use mobile banking and other digital payment.
Yeah, I do use mobile banking and digital payment systems.
And especially I use it for buying the mobile data and mobile top-up. And I also use to transfer bank-to-bank transfer account.
But I use it for paying the school fees and paying restaurant bills and other phone bills.
Yes, I think it is secure for me. Before the mobile banking appear, when you want to transfer money, you need to go to the bank, and it takes a lot of time. But now when mobile bankings appear, it is much more easier for me.
Yeah, I think it's reliable and way more secure than cash money. And because we don't need to carry a lot of cash, I think it's more reliable for our students if we can pay a bus fees. Yeah, and I think that would be the future of digital payment if we can do those stuffs. And yeah, that would be way more convenient for our student or for us.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on understanding digital payment or digital wallet. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,533 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 216 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,707 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,976 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,125 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 366 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,502. Silver is at $17. And Brent crude oil is at $55. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI dropped 500 and it's at 11,500. MTSH went up 50 and it's now at 4,000. MCB is at 8,400. FPB is at 23,500. TMH remains at 2,950. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch other great programs live on the website. We're also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or simply download our app so that you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Well, we have more reports for you, and we're not going to keep you waiting, so let's get down to it. Research shows that aquaculture production will need to double at least between now and 2050 to meet the demands of growing population. Myanmar aquaculture in particular needs a proper set of practices to drive the sector's growth. Our reporter Aquaculture reached out to the stakeholders and experts at the dialogue on the challenges and the establishment of a national good aquaculture practices standard at Rose Garden Hotel on Thursday. Here's his report.
Research shows that aquaculture production will need to double at least between now and 2050 to meet the demands of growing population. However, the aquaculture sector is facing challenges, and whether the sector will be able to grow this fast is a pressing question that needs to be addressed. Myanmar aquaculture in particular needs a proper set of practices to drive the sector's growth. Stakeholders met on Thursday at the Rose Garden Hotel to discuss the challenges and the establishment of a national good aquaculture practices standard. U Win Chang, General Secretary of Myanmar Fishery Federation, said,
Local food safety and exports are very important. Our country's aquaculture sector was not advanced this much in earlier days. We will have to follow the good aquaculture practice so that we will get better quality to export to other countries. Our country has not tried this national guideline yet, so this is the first time. To make it to the worldwide market, we have to follow this guideline. This June, EU approved Myanmar's aquaculture export products. Every exported aquaculture product should be under GAQP in some countries like America, China, and Saudi Arabia. This GAQP will be advantageous to food safety in local consumption and exports.
It is noted that there are about 10,000 acres of fisheries which are up to par with the food security and safety standard. U Zin, Deputy Director General of Department of Fisheries, commented on that.
Department of Fisheries and Myanmar Fisheries Federation together are planning to export aquaculture products. Last year, over 54,000 tons of fisheries products were exported, which is worth $711.717 million. In this year, we generated estimated revenue of $728 million. Over 10,000 acres of protection guidelines of GAQP from EU to export fisheries. As GAQP guidelines, we will have to do systematically in fish breeding, like we can mix other animals with fish. This will lead to better food safety.
It is learned that diseases are proliferating and hinder production expansion. The shrimp sector in Southeast Asia alone lost $45 billion in revenue in the past decade. Rural communities across Asia are highly dependent on fish, which provides more than 50% of their daily animal protein intake.
We used to utilize the integrated farming system in farming and agriculture. Now, the priority is not up to the international standard of food safety and security. Now we are trying to switch into the standardized products. We will stop the practices on the farming which don't bring food safety, and we will continue to adopt the new practice. With the new practice, only fish alone will be farmed. It won't be mixed with poultry.
The benefits of implementing the GAQP components are improved farm performance by higher survival and growth rates, better farm profitability, decreased pressure and impact on natural resources, maintaining the quality of Myanmar's wetlands, better food safety and security, preparation for export market, and international certification. This is Aquaculture reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on poor aquaculture practices leading to major loss. Well, here's the last report on the importance of market research for business. Market research industry is very essential in the business, but according to a report by Market Research Association Yangon, very few local businesses are interested to have market research for their businesses, and most of the companies which are interested and learning about market research are foreign companies in Myanmar, Williamson reports.
With the aim of evolving and enhancing the development of Myanmar's market research industry, the Market Research Association was formed in 2018. It is a self-funded and independent professional organization representing all the business research agencies. MRA will act as intermediary between the government ministries and research agencies to protect the interests of Myanmar research agencies in the country. In order to develop business in Myanmar, market research must develop as it distributes professional knowledge and procedures of market research among the people, and also protect against the exploitation of the local research agency. Speaking to the media on 24th of October at Myanmar Market Research Industry Annual Meeting, U Aung Min, the secretary of MRA, said,
market research
market research becomes important nowadays. For example, if we want to open shop, we have to make our own research to our surrounding, like how many shops are there in the same area, and what are they selling, and what are the weaknesses of these shops, and what are similar to each other shops, like that. But when we make a big project about all the shops in Yangon, we have to survey all the shops and what the customers want. So there are two things in doing market research. In the research, we have to know how big is the market shares, players, distribution channels, market focus, and have to do the computer analysis. So if the business plan is small, they can do it by themselves with their own ideas. So if the business plan is big, we have to go to the respective organization to do market planning.
Market research industry needs to develop in Myanmar, as when we compare the market size of Myanmar with that of Thailand, Thailand is around 30 times higher than Myanmar. The existing market research industry in Myanmar also needs to develop at least 5 times higher than the current one. Then it will be compatible with the market size of Myanmar. Another important reason for the development of market research industry is it also improves the quality of workers, which also needs a lot of training. Speaking on how far the business persons in Myanmar have interest in market research for their businesses, U Aung Min also explained.
Local people have already set up market. So if we want to know the consumer's demand, we have to do consumer research. For those who do the market research or the entry analysis, they're mostly foreigners. Foreign companies want to do investment in Myanmar, and they want to know more about the situations of Myanmar. So although locals think this market research is not necessary, they only come to us when they want to do the partnership with MRA. The percentage is not always the same. 80% of the investments are foreign investment. The foreign companies request us for the report of the market research industry. So the companies include World Bank, ADB, JICA, Metro, who want to know about the infrastructure projects. So most of the business companies understand about the importance of the market research, but they have loads to invest in these research. So as the MRA's chairman, Umojo, mentioned in the opening speech, if we do advertising or use media to our consumers, it costs a lot. So there are a lot of differences in doing market research by ourselves and by the professionals. So most of the foreign companies depend on the local market's condition and government's policy. So the cost depends on the size of the projects. The customized research costs a lot and syndicated research costs lower.
This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's all the reports we have for today. We're now going to look into some international news here on Myanmar Today. A photography project has highlighted the extent of ice loss from Iceland's glaciers. A team from Scotland and Iceland compared photographs taken in the 1980s with present-day drone images. They focused on the south side of the Vatnajökull ice cap, which covers about 7,700 square kilometers of land. Dr. Kieran Baxter from the University of Dundee said they saw a staggering difference in a very short amount of time. Thousands of images were taken, often of overlapping areas, and the team then used software to transform these into a high-res 3D model of the terrain. Dr. Baxter said this meant the photographs looking straight down onto the landscape could then be reframed to show the terrain from different angles. The team hopes the comparison photos will be used for public outreach to show how rapidly Iceland's glaciers are retreating. Scientists found learning to drive small cars helps rats feel less stressed. Researchers at the University of Richmond in the US taught a group of 17 rats how to drive little plastic cars in exchange for bits of cereal. Study lead Dr. Kelly Lambert said the rats felt more relaxed during the task, a finding that could help with the development of non-pharmaceutical treatments for mental illness. The rats were not required to take a driving test at the end of the study. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Goodbye now.